All right, everyone, welcome to Navigating the AI Frontier, the risks of deploying Copilot without robust data security. We'll be doing a live Q&A session at the end of the presentation. Feel free to type your questions into your question box and we will address them at the end of the presentation. Also, please be sure to fill out the survey at the end where you can request a follow-up meeting to deep dive into the technical details. My name is Jorge Zelaya. I'm the CISO here at Atmosera, responsible for our security program and managed security services. Prior to Atmosera, I spent 7 years in breach and incident response sector as a global CISO for a company providing threat intelligence, breach response, and identity protection services to the federal government, large enterprises, financial service entities, and healthcare service providers. I also have here with me Sly. Sly, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Oh yeah, thanks for having me here, George. My name is Sly Gittens. I've been at Microsoft for about 4 years, helping partners just like Atmosera, with their technical vision and their strategy and how we can help partners and customers like yourself just do more with the Microsoft technology. I've been in the industry for over 13 years in either technical roles as an architect, sales engineer, sales roles, and even a technical marketing manager, but all around security, AI, and data. So I'm excited to be here. And thanks for having me again, George.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sly. We also have Rachel Snowbeck on the line with us. She's our director of marketing. All right, I'd like to take a minute to introduce you to Atmosera. We're approaching 30 years of enabling digital transformations. We're experts in Microsoft clouds, both Azure and Microsoft 365, and take a personal approach to enabling and protecting those services. Microsoft recognized specializations, reflecting our deep expertise across Azure and cloud transformation services, with 3 of those specializations centered on security: security advisory, managed extended detection and response, and cloud and data security. Our specializations are backed by Atmosera's designation as an Azure Expert MSP and membership in Microsoft Cybersecurity Investment Program and the Microsoft Intelligence Security Association. Has some more details about the MISA Association. Sly, you want to take it from here?
Oh yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, like I said before, I'm great to be here alongside Atmosera. And my name is Microsoft, and I want to talk about something that significantly enhances Atmosera and its MISA program, the Microsoft Intelligence Security Association. You might be asking yourself, what exactly is MISA? And as you can see on the slide, MISA is an ecosystem of leading security vendors, and it just isn't a collection of companies. It's actually careful, curated network comprising of 2 key types of partners: independent software vendors, or ISVs you might hear for short. And these are companies that develop and sell their own security software, and managed security service providers, or MSSPs. And that's where our partnership with Atmosera truly shines, as Atmosera is a proud member of MISA, a leading managed security service provider. So the great thing about MISA members is that, including Atmosera, is that they have integrated their security solutions directly with Microsoft security technologies. This deep integration is vital because it creates seamless, more effective defense posture for you and our shared customers. Another thing that I like to talk about is that it's best in class security, and it's great to leverage its shared aspects. And Atmosera is leveraging their expertise, their hands-on knowledge, with the Microsoft security technology. And together, we're dedicated in helping protect organizations like yourself against the ever-increasing sophistication of cyber threats. And George, you can go to the next slide. So let's talk, why is this good, right? You might say, Sly, of course you're going to say MISA is good. You work at Microsoft. So you're backed by a trusted, vetted partner. So Atmosera's membership is a testament to their commitment to providing you with top-tier integrated security services built on the strongest security foundations available, and it's a clear demonstration of our joint dedication to your security. And this commitment brings us to the next key point, one that offers significant advantage. You're backed by a trusted, vetted partner. It just isn't a membership. It's that Atmosera signed up for. It's a crucial understanding to understand Visa is an invite only. This means Atmosera didn't just decide to join. We actually vigorously nominated them to approve them on Microsoft itself. So what does this rigorous vetting process mean for you as an Atmosera customer? It provides you with several critical assurances. First, it gives you the confidence in their capabilities because Microsoft and my team has reviewed and approved Atmosera, so you can be assured that it possesses deep technical expertise, operational excellence, and requires they can deploy, manage, optimize Microsoft security technology on your behalf. Second, it aligns with Microsoft security roadmap. So you're working with a MISA partner like Atmosera that you can be confident that is up to date what we're doing. And finally, it provides you with the assurance that you're working with a leader committed to compliance and innovation. So this presentation is going to be awesome. We're going to talk about Copilot and how do you secure that? How do you make sure that you don't leave the door open by accident? And this is a great introduction conversation to that. So George, you can take it away from here.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sly. All right. So as we navigate the AI frontier, it's important to understand where we are starting from. I'm going to introduce you to 5 characters who are also on their AI journey. I expect that you'll relate with one of them as you learn about the risks that are introduced as part of our Copilot deployments within your organization. All right, so first up here is Rookie Ray. He's just getting started on his AI journey and wants to empower users, but is not sure about the risks and how to protect the organization. Next, we have Aware Alex. She recognizes the risks of AI, knows the organization is using AI, knows about data silos and where sensitive data resides, wants to build better AI monitoring and implement better controls, and is concerned about proper AI usage. Tactical Tasha has limited controls in place, but wants more protection against exfiltration, insider risk, and external collaboration. Guardian Gabe has well-established access and DLP controls in place. He has protections against insider risk and data exfiltration, is aligned with regulatory compliance controls, but wants to have more proactive monitoring and continuous evolution of security alignment. And finally, here we got Pinnacle Pete. He has advanced controls for insider risk, data exfiltration, communication, and regulatory framework compliance. He performs continuous education of people, process, and technology, and has proactive 24/7/52 monitoring in place. He has evolved beyond reactive AI and data security. So where do you believe you are with your journey? What character do you most relate with? I'll give you 30 seconds to get your answers in. All right, looks like we got a poll here. Love it. Got a few Rookie Rays, some Aware Alexes, and a few Tactical Tashas. Nice. All right. Moving on. Let's explore the rise and risks of AI. AI transformation is here and now. 75% of employees are already using AI at work, resulting in 10 hours of productivity gain per month. It's becoming an essential tool for organizations, as 65% are already deriving business value from Gen AI technologies. and it has a pretty high ROI at about 250%. So pretty fantastic numbers there. While organizations gain huge benefits, they also gain new risks and challenges. You know, one of Copilot's superpowers is its search capability. Oops, hold on a second. It's a search capability. It's the best searcher on the planet. It will empower users to find information easily, increasing the risk of unauthorized access and data exfiltration incidents. With Copilot's knowledge mining capabilities, seamless user experience, and its leverage of user permissions, a threat actor no longer requires extensive scripting or programming knowledge to enact significant harm and damage to an organization's security posture and reputation. They can merely manipulate Copilot to their advantage and scour the user's permissions and data access to retrieve sensitive information and exfiltrate it. This leads to questions. How do we know where our risks are for oversharing? Do we have the necessary security measures in place that will ensure a safe, secure, and seamless Copilot deployment? With those risks in mind, we can see that data security is at the core of these issues. 83% of organizations experience more than one data breach in their lifetime. Insiders account for 20% of data breaches, and 80% of leaders cited data leaks as their main concern when adopting Gen AI. Let's test our knowledge. What do you believe is the average cost impact of a data breach? I'll give you 30 seconds to come up with an answer. Looks like we got some right answers in there. All right, votes are in. The majority picked D, 1 million, when in fact the answer is C. In 2024, the global average cost of a data breach reached 4.88 million, marking a 10% increase from the previous year. This rise is attributed to factors such as business disruption, customer loss, and post-breach response activities. Interestingly, organizations that extensively use security AI and automation saw an average cost savings of 2.22 million compared to those that didn't. The healthcare sector reported the highest average breach cost at 9.77 million due to the sensitive nature of patient data and stringent regulatory requirements. Let's now dive into an example of how loose controls can lead to data oversharing incidents. But first, a quick overview of the Copilot query flow. Copilot generative AI services are embedded in most of Microsoft's 365 applications. From the app or the web or from Microsoft 365 Copilot, you can input prompts for generative AI services. The prompt leverages the Microsoft Graph and semantic index for user accessible data as inputs to the LLM, and response is received in the application and processed accordingly. Next, we will review how a user can use Copilot to find and retrieve unprotected information buried within a SharePoint site at Wayne Enterprises. The wonderful people at Wayne Enterprises have a document repository in SharePoint where they keep important documents. However, they don't have the proper controls in place to properly govern who has access to this data. They have been primarily relying on security by obscurity, where information is somewhat protected because it is difficult to find, and trust that their employees will do the right thing. Let's first query Copilot to tell us about the documents stored at Wayne Enterprises. Some of these look very interesting. So as you can see from the prompt here, we asked Copilot to say, tell me about some of the documents stored in Wayne Enterprises. Copilot Sure, here are some of the documents stored in Wayne Enterprises. Again, some of these look interesting. Let's see, moving on. Great, let me dig in a little bit. I'll start by typing the name of one of the documents and see what types of results I get. So in this particular situation, I typed Wayne Enterprises AI R&D strategy. Copilot, again, summarizes the document and lays out some key points. Next, I'll ask Copilot to summarize the all employee records document. As you can see, Copilot is very helpful. It quickly summarizes the data within the document and shares key highlights. Note that I got this information without having to navigate to SharePoint, locate the document, and finding the file and opening it. So what types of threats did we see? Well, first, we can see that because information is easy to find and summarize, a threat actor who has established persistent access can use the compromised account to quickly access and potentially exfiltrate data. We can also see that users may not even know that they have access to sensitive information that can be easily found and summarized by Copilot, perhaps one of the most common problems. So what can we do to remediate these types of issues? I'll highlight a couple of approaches that companies are taking. Let's start with what I call, Let's start with what I call the easy way. You can navigate the AI frontier by leveraging the advanced tooling for licensing you may already own. Here are a few examples. Restricted SharePoint search and built-in controls is included as part of the Copilot for Business subscription. SharePoint Advanced Management gives you observability and governance over SharePoint, and Purview gives you the ability to apply data security posture management, or DSPM, and users' rights to your documents, which enables observability and controls. And lastly, you can use Entra ID governance to implement a robust RBAC strategy. In other words, a role-based access control strategy. All right. The goal is to leverage these tools to achieve a defense in depth. Access controls, DLP, data lifecycle management, and data security posture management are all layered together to control and secure your environment. You can establish preventative controls via Purview and gain additional visibility into third-party services, which may be using AI, and discover Copilot and supported third-party AI usage. The alternate approach is the hard way, which is to rely on manual identification and on people following the right process. Data rights and usage, Data rights and usage insights need to be gathered with manual processes and manual routine audits that are time-consuming and resource-intensive. If you don't have a SharePoint Advanced Management license, you can manually perform some of this work by identifying and categorizing existing documents and data stores. You can establish and review role-based access controls of your data stores, and generate reports and audit access of those data stores containing sensitive information. And lastly, you can restrict SharePoint search and offline availability for sensitive sites to prevent them from being added to semantic index. What we lack with either approach is a comprehensive method of understanding our risk before we deploy these solutions. That's where Atmosera's Copilot Detective can help. It's a tool that we use to assess the risk of data oversharing throughout your organization. It reviews SharePoint, OneDrive, and Teams permissions and configurations, and provides a comprehensive and prioritized remediation plan. When Atmosera performs a Copilot Detective risk assessment, you gain the following: greater risk insights with accuracy and precision that are tailored to your business and regulatory objectives. It provides the information needed to make informed and risk-aware decisions. It's aligned with the NIST AI Risk Management Framework that was released January 26, 2023, and offers you a structured plan to risk mitigation with a timeline to achieve your results. So let's assume that you performed the Copilot detective assessment and executed your risk mitigation plan, and then performed a secure Copilot deployment with Purview. Okay. You will note that when you open a document now, you now have the option to apply sensitivity labels, which embed rights management controls on the document. As I mentioned earlier, Purview enables data security posture management with Azure Rights Management Services. Some of you may be wondering, what are the RMS or rights management protections? Well, RMS protections allow you to apply encryption on files where the file can be encrypted only by users, the file can be decrypted only by users authorized by the label's encryption settings. The file remains encrypted no matter where it resides, inside or outside your organization. Even if the file is renamed, it also encrypted both at rest and in transit. So for example, in your OneDrive account, and in transit, for example, in your email as it traverses the internet. Okay, so now that I've applied my sensitive label, I'll run another Copilot prompt, and I'll ask Copilot to list the content of the file. You'll note that Copilot respects, You'll note that Copilot respects the protections we've applied and no longer has access to the content of the file. But what happens if I attempt to exfiltrate the file and attempt to open it? As you can see, the controls remain intact, and that's because the RMS protections are applied at the file level. And these are the types of protections that organizations need to ensure a secure Copilot deployment. So how can Atmosera help? We can help organizations go from red to yellow to green in a matter of 4 months. Here's a quick overview of our approach. We essentially have these 3 phases. During the readiness phase, we start with a Copilot detective risk assessment. This gives us the insights we need to understand your risk and prepare you for adoption and training. We then move on to the deployment phase, where we implement controls to get you to Guardian Gave status. And lastly, we offer to stay engaged and be your 24/7/52 eyes on glass monitoring and continuous improvement partner, allowing you to achieve Pinnacle PEAT status.